Hello, hello, everybody. Good to see you today. I hope you're having a fantastic day because I am. It's Friday. Friday. I don't care what anybody says. Friday feels something special to me. Always has. And I haven't worked in a job in more years than I want to admit. But still, Friday feels like, yay, it's Friday, even though I'm working tomorrow. I don't know what it is. Anyway, I'm so happy you're with me. I'm Trish Carr from Women's Prosperity Network, and I'm so glad that you are here for our episode of Be Real, Get Real with Women's Prosperity Network, because when you be real, you can get real. And when you do that, you get real results. So today, I'm so excited to introduce you to one of my favorite people. I'm so looking forward to this conversation. This broadcast is all about the people behind the business. We do business with people, not business. It's the people that make up the business. When I go to my grocery store, even though it's a big grocery chain, that person who's bagging my groceries, that cashier, that shelf stocker, those are people that have worked there that I actually know their names now. So the more you know, and I always love going there because they're my friends. It's kind of like, remember that old TV show back in the 80s, Cheers? Like you walk in and they know, everybody knows your name. And when we are doing business, we want to do business with people we like. That's what this is about, is finding out that there are so many people out there who are wonderful behind the businesses. And today, my guest is Jane Parmel. And Jane is a business coach who focuses on business efficiency and profit acceleration, which is a really nice way to say she makes you more money. She is an entrepreneur extraordinaire. She's been working as an entrepreneur for over 25 years. In addition to that, she has a master's in teacher education. So she was a teacher before she did this, and which I didn't even remember. So I'm really excited to hear about that. She's also got certifications from Goldman Sachs's 10,000 Small Business Initiative. So if you know Goldman Sachs, that's a name. So she has been deemed that she has a management consulting, a certificate of entrepreneurship. She is a woman on the move, and I am so happy to have her with me. Please, please, please welcome the fantastic Jane Parmel. Yay, the crowd is wild.
Thank you. I'm looking around to see who you were talking about.
It's you. We were talking about you.
Well, it's good
I
to see you,
love it.
Trish. Thank you.
You are so welcome. I love what you do. You actually show businesses that there's money in their business that they just don't know how to get out and how to create revenue. It's the old expression, leaving money on the table, right?
Right, definitely.
That's what it is for sure. So I was so excited when we were going to be talking with each other because we're both girls from New York. We go to the same beach. You live on the beach I used to go to. So here's my question: how close to the beach are you?
2 blocks to the beach, Atlantic Ocean, in Rockaway, Queens.
Nice. 2 blocks from the beach, really nice. And
The
you
dog
take your.
enjoys it more than I do, but
I was
that's
going to say you take your puppy out there. You don't enjoy it. What do you mean the dog enjoys it more than you do?
sand. I'll do without the sand. I have a pool in the backyard. I'd rather go in the pool, but
Oh yeah,
here
I
in the,
know. I was like, oh, she's got a pool too.
up here in New York, we don't get to enjoy as much of the outside year-round events like you do, but it's okay. We make do.
Yeah, and listen, it is the most beautiful beach, Rockaway Beach.
It is.
And it's like a hidden gem
Yep.
that most people don't even know about. So good for you. You're so lucky. I'm so jealous that you get to live there.
Yeah, it's great until it starts raining a lot, and then we always worry, but that's okay.
Oh, I know that's right. That's something that you in on the coast in New York and me on the coast in Florida have in common is when it starts raining. It's like, please stop.
That is right, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So we were talking about, you, all right, so let's talk New York girls for 1 second.
All right.
We are really good at showing that we are somebody and we are confident and you don't shake me.
Right.
Yet internally, this little dance is going on. Like the confidence is there, but then somebody questions you or somebody looks funny at you, and all of a sudden you're questioning your confidence. And you were dealing with that for a little bit, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. I would say to you, I've been dealing with it probably all of my entrepreneurial journey, as opposed to when I was teaching. When I was teaching, I was very confident in what I was doing. I was a little bit of a crazy teacher back in the day. I was teaching junior high in Catholic school, and it's funny now because a lot of the people in the neighborhood are my ex students. So it's funny as I walk around the area, I'll hear "Hi, Miss Parmel," and you're like you don't even recognize the kids because so many years have passed. But I was confident then. And as I became, I think not having that really great foundation in business, I think it kind of shook me or allowed me to be shaken when somebody questioned me about what I was doing, how I was conducting business, how I was talking to customers.
Mm,
All of these things, and you had other people looking in. I have I have a great family that are in business, have been in business um, decades. And a lot of times the people all with good intentions would pass comments, and it would always, make you stop and think. And I think that was one of the detriments of not having that big business degree and this degree and that degree. But I learned on my feet. I learned on the job. I learned when I could have opportunities to get into things like Goldman Sachs. I went for it, and I really wanted to have a better foundation so I wouldn't have that rattled feeling.
so, what you're saying, I'm hearing you, and it sounds like so many of us, especially, it's funny that you think that we have that lack of confidence or that feeling when we first get started and eventually it just works its way out. But sometimes it doesn't go away, right?
Right.
It's years. You're doing what you're doing. First of all, Jane, you've been in business 25 years and you've
Yep.
been totally successful in everything you do, but something in your mind, I don't know what it is. I get it too. I feel it too. It's like I say to myself, oh, maybe I'm not as smart as I think I am, or
Yeah.
maybe this person knows more than me because they carry themselves with some kind of feeling.
And I think that goes back to my childhood too. My parents, you didn't want to be boastful. You weren't supposed to be proudful. You were not supposed to talk about all your accomplishments and what you did. And then I get into a field like coaching or business where you have to literally be saying, "Hey, we're it. We know what we're doing. We know we can solve here's your pain point. We're going to solve the pain point. I am the best at what I do." I was never taught to say I'm the best at what I do. So
Right.
I think I had a hard time believing it myself, and it would translate through somebody saying, "Are you sure? Do you know what you're doing? Is that the way you should talk to people? Is that the way you should handle this business affair or whatever?" And it would rattle me, but to the point that you would sit there and you'd have to really take that step back and go, "Well, damn it, I know what I know." And I just have to step back into that confidence. And I really tell you, it took years and years and years before
Mm,
I felt that way enough to say to people, and we always talk about firing customers sometimes, firing clients that aren't a good fit. Maybe we're not a good fit for them or they're not a good fit for us. It got to a really big point where I could sit there and say, this is something I'm comfortable doing. I have a client now that I would say to you, I've said it a couple of times to them already. You're not ready for this, or you're not listening to what is being told, or you're not looking at the things that you should be analyzing. Um, I can say that confidently now because I know what I know and I know what works. And I just really think you have to step into that after a while. And especially as
yeah.
women, as women, we always get, the old saying, I heard it the other day. I think one of the actresses was talking about it with the strike that was on. If you are a man and you're aggressive and you're a go-getter.
Exactly.
If you're a woman, you know what you are. So I think we all have to get past that too, and not letting people disparage you in your own mind.
Yeah, yeah. It's so, what you just said reminded me. So I saw the Taylor Swift concert movie
Mhm.
Sunday night. OMG, amazing, right? And one of the songs she does is every song is a theatrical experience. She turns everything into like you're on a Broadway show. And she does this song called The Man. And the whole song is about if I was a man, I'd be the man. But instead, I'm somebody that people want to drag down, say I'm not good enough, not smart enough. But I'm the man. I'm aggressive, not assertive. I'm not. I'm competitive. I mean, all these negative things that we're called. But if we were a man, I'd be the man.
Exactly. Oh,
And
wow.
I know
I get that.
it's a silly lament that we have as women.
Mhm.
And it's really challenging to get the man to see it,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
But the whole thing about singing your praises, Dr. Pat Rogers, who many of you know, she's always talking about you got to speak up about how good you are and your expertise, because if you don't say it, nobody's going to say it for you. And we as girls, we're brought up to be quiet and not be egotistical and not be boastful. So here we become entrepreneurs, and now we have to tell everybody how freaking fantastic we are.
And we don't know how to. That's part of the problem.
Yeah.
So
So that's one of the things I love about Women's Prosperity Network, because when we get together, we really highlight each other's gifts. Like Jane, you might be shy about saying stuff about yourself, but I'll tell you, right? We tell
right.
each other, you're awesome. You're so good. You're so
I
smart.
think, I think that everybody needs those cheerleaders in their lives. Like you're gonna
Mhm.
have, like I said, in honor of November, because it happens to be one of my favorite months because my birthday soon. But anyway, uh, don't let the turkeys get you down. You have the turkeys, and then you have the cheerleaders in your life, and you really, whether you call them turkeys and cheerleaders or anchors and birds that can enable you to fly, spirits. Um, to find where you are the most comfortable and work with that feeling, like keep it internally. Like I said to you, when I was teaching, I was crazy. It was right after Dead Poets Society was out, and Robin Williams was like, the last person that you would have ever seen in a classroom. But the kids that I was teaching back in the day would tell you I'd stand up on my chair because I couldn't get their attention, and all of a sudden I wouldn't say anything. I'd just stand there. I would stand up on the desk to see if they were cheating in the back of the room. I would tell them, "You can't cheat." I've done it, been there, done that. And I had a confidence that was, great when you're with 12 and 13-year-olds, but doesn't always translate well when now you're in front of people that may be in the same industry as you,
Right,
colleagues, competitors, whatever, and you
right.
really
People who've been doing it longer than you.
exactly. I had another situation when we were doing, again, very big into balloon decorating. I was asked to teach a class, and I was asked to teach this class over other people that had been in the industry a little bit longer. And they came into the room. These people came into the room, and if I tell you, rattled me. That was probably the beginning of my I'm not sure of myself anymore. I don't know that I belong in this industry anymore, because I was teaching a basic class. They came in and they said, let's see if she knows her crap. And they were asking me questions that were way above my pay grade at the time. It's
Hmm.
not, it's not that I didn't know the answer, but that's not where the class was focused. And trying to get people back into, the teacher in me is trying to get them refocused, but it was just why you, not us kind of thing. And
Right.
it rattled me. That really was the thing. And then after that, every time I was in a similar situation, that would jump in, I would get that rattled feeling again. And I really now have to stop and think, and I think this is things that I've gone through with Women's Prosperity and all the other coaches I've worked with, and even Nancy with some NLP work. I try to go back to when I had those good feelings, when I was confident, and I say, well, why can't I be confident now and move forward? And it's really helped me, um, put it in their place. If they don't like me, that's their loss. It's if they don't like the work I do, that's their loss. If they don't need me, okay, call me in 6 months and tell me that you do need me. you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's confidence versus, that whole desperation that we can get into as entrepreneurs. Oh, I need the next deal,
Right.
right? But the confidence knowing that all your prospects turn into high paying clients and it comes and all that good stuff. So I think that for me, it's something I'm always aware of. I'm always listening to myself talk about it. And sounds like the same for you, but it sounds like you've done a lot of work to get past it.
So Trish, if I don't do it, I'm stuck in where I am, and I don't want to. It's not that I don't enjoy where I am now, but I want something more. I've always wanted something more. Maybe it's fitting in, maybe it's being accepted, maybe it's being listened to. I am really not sure where it lies, but if it's a combination of everything, I think that we should make our mark in the world and actually have the effect and leave an impression on people so that when we're gone, they don't just sit there and go, who was that again? Um,
Mm,
I see a lot of people come and go. And, characters in my life throughout a lot of years. I'll tell you that some people, that I remember them and their memory is always with me. But if I can help more people grow their business and impact their retirement, their kids and their education, where they can go, even just the freedom of time to spend. If you want to spend at home doing nothing, that's your business, but you should have a business that's able to afford you that if you're in business. You shouldn't be in business to just be doing the work and struggling and straining and figuring out where the next money client prospect comes from. It should be easier.
yes, and that's what you do is you make it easier for sure. Tell me,
Exactly.
so what happened with teaching? How did you transition from teaching to entrepreneur?
Teaching was good. I love the kids. Parents were okay. The administration and I kind of butted heads a few million times. I was probably in the principal's office more as a teacher than I was as a kid, as a student, because I pushed the kids. I always pushed my whoever I was in charge of. So just to give you an idea, seventh graders did life science. I had seventh graders that knew the life of a red blood cell. We would put a smiley face on the board with a little shopping bag, and we would go through all the parts of the body that this shopping bag of oxygen would go to, all the different parts. And I had 12 and 13-year-olds that could recite that verbatim. They knew it. They knew why things happened. And because I was more of the interactive, um, let's see what we can push the kids to do, I was constantly being pulled into the office saying, well, it's more important for the kids to have social lives. And I'm like, they're in school, they have social lives, but they're supposed to be learning. So that's where I butted heads with the principal in particular. But after a little while, it gets old, and opportunity opened up. My partner and I decided to open up. One of the other teachers in the school, actually a friend of mine for years, um, we opened up a children's party center so that we could still have the interaction with kids and teach classes and do things with movement, because we were both phys ed teachers. It really expanded from that. One thing led to another, and then I wound up in balloons. It's the strangest thing. Balloons
Well,
and
but
parties.
what a great transition. You got to do something so much fun, right? Because the kids are coming to you happy instead of I'm in school,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
What a great, I mean, talk about pivoting and using your talents to do something you want to do that's different and that you would love. And you did that for a long time, right?
We did the children's party center for a short time, but then we moved into more of the party planning and things. But I tell you, one
Mm-hmm.
of the things that's most satisfying to me is when I see the kids in the neighborhood and they say things to me. And I know this has been years of this. I became a pharmacist because of you. I became a doctor because of you. I became, a teacher because of you. It's so gratifying to hear that. And it does boost your ego. So you did something right somewhere along the line. And you just got to kind of recapture that in what you're doing now.
Yeah, well, bask in that, sister, because that's legacy stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's literally the pebble in the pond and what you have created outside. I mean, that pharmacist is going to be helping thousands of people. I mean, it must be so fulfilling to know that you've made such a big difference in young people's lives. Yes?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And that's the only part I miss of teaching per se. But even when we had our business, we had a lot of ex-students that worked for us, and just young people in general, high school and college kids that, to this day will call me and ask me, certain things with their jobs or resumes or just work in general. They'll still we're still in touch, and it's really nice to see. It's really nice to
That's
see
awesome.
leave that behind.
So now your students, your kids that you played with in the party business, they're all grown up, and now you can help them make money in their businesses because
Exactly.
that's what Cardinal Profit does, right?
Yep, definitely.
It finds money. So one of the things I know that you do is you show people lead generation ideas and ways to bring in more people, obviously bringing in more money. And I know that you have a free gift. Tell us about the 52 unique lead generating strategies.
Yeah, it's a little ebook that just gives you some ideas on how to get more leads in, reach more people through different things, not just business, giveaways or promotions, but sometimes events and speeches and different things that you can do yourself, creating space with your own audience to get them into your funnels, to teach them how to get into their lanes and reach more people on their own for their own businesses.
Yes, 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 yes. So pick that up. There's the link. Just type it into your browser, cardinal.tiny.us/52 ebook, and find out because these are things you're already doing. This is how you can enhance what you're already doing. This is how you find money that you didn't even realize was there. This is how you monetize. We talk about this all the time. But this is a great way to monetize. So make sure you get that book for sure. And Jane, I know you also do workshops, yes?
Workshops. Yep. We do some workshops that we had run. It was called Mastering Profitable Marketing, where we do a 5 workshop series. And it really quick, 45 minutes. I tell everybody I don't like long things, so it's 45
Me
minutes.
neither.
We cover everything really quickly, and then we have workbooks along with that, some freebies that come with that, and that's all up on our website, and you can find that out. But we're always running new things and always looking for live events and in-person events now that we can get out and meet people face to face again.
Yeah.
But yeah, we try to do that all the time, and I'm always looking to meet new people, hear more stories, and add them to my network of my imaginary works in my head. I always like to do the connections. So
Yeah. Well, make sure you can get this information at cardinalprofit.com.
Yep.
And really, Jane is amazing at finding money for people. And, so many little things we could be doing in our businesses that we're not. And Jane shows you how and how to make it into money.
Yeah. And some things you don't even think about.
Exactly. Exactly. You don't even think about it. Well, my friend, I am so happy that we got a chance to speak today. Thank you so much for your vulnerability and for sharing the real you, because, I think that the more we share who we really are, like, yeah, I'm like you, I'm human. I'm not always so confident. I may look like, hey, I got it, but inside I'm freaking out, right? You sharing that makes a difference for everybody else. It gives me the right to speak my truth. So, Jane, thank you so much for being with me.
Thank you, Trish. I appreciate all the conversations we ever have, and this was really great. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Make sure you go to cardinalprofit.com and connect with Jane. She's amazing. This woman, there's so much I've learned from her over the years, and there's so much she knows that she can support you with as well. So
I almost feel like I have to say thanks, Ma, because I hear my mother say, "You're better than my mother."
That's so great. That's great. Well, thanks everybody for being with us today. It was a real pleasure. I hope that you enjoyed this conversation as much as we did. We'll see you again on another episode of Be Real, Get Real. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Thanks again, Jane.
Thank you so much, Trish. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
All right.